What is up, everybody? This is Keith Jamison. I go by Gator Guy 231 across the DFS industry. Thank you for checking out another EPL DFS preview. We have a really interesting three-game slate this weekend. I think understanding what the teams are playing for is going to be huge. Following the odds will be huge. And I just think it'll actually be a fun slate. So I'm looking forward to it. And just a quick reminder, you not only want to get all of these previews, but all the soccer content on Mayo Media Network, all the golf, the football, the hockey, just all the picks from all the amazing, talented people here. Make sure you smash the subscribe button if you're watching on video. Like, comment, really does help. And then if you are on the Pod Center, make sure that you are subscribing there as well. All right, let's get into the picks. And there's just actually one last quick reminder. One plug for me. Make sure you check me out at FSI DFS on YouTube and just our whole team out. We have amazing content that we feel amazing content dropping daily there. It's a great supplement to everything you see on Mayo Media Network. If you are interested in DFS and want to consume all that content, we would really appreciate it. All right, let's get into the picks. And before I go straight into the picks, I want to talk about the odds and I want to talk about what teams are playing for. So first game of the slate, it's just a dead game in actuality. Like neither team is technically playing for anything. Pride, it's what we're playing for. But we have Sheffield plus 201, so slight home dog hosting Crystal Palace. It's a whopping 2.25 total. Funny enough, there's some good plays from here. So despite neither team necessarily going for it, I think Sheffield is playing for a lot of pride at home. You know, they're going to be relegated, but, by a lot of those guys are playing for potential EPL jobs. And then Palace just wants to end the season strong. Palace is a perennial mid-table team, but, this is a spot for them to show up, score some goals, and try to continue to go into next season on a positive note. So I don't think either team are laying down. The big game where a lot of eyes will be on is Manchester City minus 105 hosting Chelsea. That is a 2.25 total. And look, this is a preview of the Champions League final in a few weeks. Additionally, you have Man City having a chance to clinch the league at home. So we know Man City will be up for this with that clinching in mind. And then Chelsea, despite being in the Champions League final, they need to finish top four. Unless they, think they are guaranteed to beat City in the final, which by no means should they think that. This is a really important game to grab a point and finishing the season out strong. So I really do expect both teams to have their full arsenal of players for this game and to be going all out at it. Now, all that being said, these are two really good defensive teams. So that 2.25 total is warranted, especially off of past results. Finally, we have the big favorite, Liverpool, minus 336 at home, must win. If they're going to have any Europe chances, they have to beat Southampton at home. So expect Liverpool to go all out, and it is a full goal higher, 3.25 total. So we are definitely going to like Liverpool pieces, which as a Liverpool fan and somebody that, keeps going back to Liverpool well and keeps coming up empty, it's a scary proposition, but, I do think that, a lot of your lineup is going to have to be seeing red. All right, let's talk about the plays. Starting from the top, we have Kevin De Bruyne at 10,000, probably the best player in the EPL, the most consistent DFS player in the EPL as well. Should be on a majority of set pieces. We do have seen that, he's lost the PKs, or at least the last one, to Riyad Mahrez. But at 10,000, there's enough value on this slate that I think, it's actually fun. I was going to say he's an easy plug and play. I love the play. I totally understand fading him too. But I think from a cash and optimal standpoint, if you're playing team no goals, if you're playing, let the goals fall where they may, and let me just accumulate all the peripherals, I think Kevin De Bruyne is an incredibly strong play at 10,000. Likely in cash games will be pushing close to 50% ownership, and is a good play. Now let's start talking about goals. Because, from the Liverpool side, we're probably going to need it. Mo Salah at 9,700, still in the hunt for the Golden Boot. That does matter to him, especially going into, a summer where there's some uncertainty where, is he going to re-up at Liverpool? Is he going to get a transfer? But 9,700, largest total in the slate, largest favorite on PKs, top goal scorer. I totally get it. I think in a lot of ways, if you play Kevin De Bruyne, it's going to be really hard to play Mo Salah. But if you decide that you really like Liverpool and you want to chase the goals and you think there's going to be more goals in that game, look, one goal from Mo Salah could put you right in line with Kevin De Bruyne's floor. So then anything else that Mo Salah does is just bonus. and he fills a forward spot. So 9,700 Mo Salah, I think, makes a ton of sense. Riyad Mahrez, unbelievable form for Mahrez. We saw him, single-handedly in the semifinals beat PSG, right? 2 goals. Just been an unbelievable form. Does take a share of set pieces. Is very active off the right. You could see Mahrez get rotated here. Like, that is 100% in the realm of possibilities. So making sure that you have contingency plans if you play Mahrez is huge. The great part is Liverpool game is after City. So let's say that you play Mahrez at the forward spot, and for some reason, Pep starts, Raheem Sterling, and starts Jesus through the middle, and starts, Ferran Torres on the left, or starts Phil Foden there. And you can just go Sadio Mane, who's next. But I think Mahrez is a great play, solid floor, 9,200 considering the game script. I'm not making him a must play by any means, but I think very, very strong, especially for cash games. Sadio Mane, I probably slightly prefer. Sadio Mane, former Southampton player, has killed Southampton in the past, 8,700. Look, Mane's been in really rough form, but he's still an elite player. I think 8,700 for him is getting to the point that even with his, he has a good floor, and then he has high up goal scoring upside. So I think 8,700 makes a ton of sense. I probably prefer him with the cost savings to Mo Salah, but that's just a personal preference. I can take that 1,000. I think I can upgrade elsewhere. Wolf Zaha, I think, is a really good GPP play from the first game. Sheffield United's defense has been absolutely horrendous since really all season, but specifically since the coaching change. When they sacked Chris Wilder, I just think they've just been a mess. They just allowed 4 goals to Tottenham last weekend, 3 goals to Gareth Bale. I think there's a lot of similarities in the way that Bale and Zaha play in terms of taking guys on, really using pace. So, you could kind of comp that out and, put Zaha in a pretty good spot here at 7,800. No sort of set pieces, but he does draw a ton of fouls, takes shots. If Milivojevic is not on, he'll be on PKs, but if Milivojevic is on, we've seen him on there. But Wolf Zaha, 7,800, a very solid play. Trent Alexander-Arnold is your plug-and play on the slate at 7,000. You could argue at this point, and especially with the game, his floor is better than Kevin De Bruyne at 3,000 cheaper, and he's a defender. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, a share of set pieces, a share of free kicks, and elite open play value. There's never seen a ball he cannot cross from the right side. So love Trent Alexander-Arnold at 7,000. I think Eze at 6,600 is a very, very nice, I don't even want to go like lock, but very, very nice cash forward play at 6,600. We've seen him recently be over almost all of Palace set pieces. Now, if Andros Townsend were to start, I don't think that I think Eze would split with him. But if you don't see Townsend, I think, and you'll know this in the first game, I think Eze should be over Monopoly set pieces, versus a very weak opponent at 6,600, fills a forward spot, gets you a set taker, my type of player. Andy Robertson at 6,000, another elite play, especially for cash games. Maybe, the Eze and Robertson are decent GPP fades due to ownership, but for cash games, they're going to be people that you want to lock in. Share set pieces, elite open play value. Finally, starting to look back to the Andy Robertson we saw at the beginning of the season in terms of open play value. And with Liverpool needing to win, I think we see Liverpool push up a ton, which will involve Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson doing a ton of crossings. So 6,011. Then final 2 value plays of the slate come from the first game. I think you're probably going to at least use one of them is John Fleck and Oliver Norwood, both sub 4,000. They split set pieces, so they split corner kicks. And look, honestly, for the matchup, Crystal Palace is not great. This should be a fairly even game back and forth in terms of possession. And we've seen Norwood and Fleck consistently put up 5, 6, 7 DK, and at sub 4,000, that's just something that we love. Let's just get the top pieces. So let's just get a De Bruyne. Let's just get a Salah. Let's get a Mane. Let's just do that while also playing a Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I think getting 3,900 Fleck is solid. I probably, will start with Norwood at 3,200. And if I have a little extra salary, I think Fleck is a slightly better play. But, for $700 difference, I have no problem just playing Norwood. So love them both. And hey, if you find a build that it's just pure star studs and you want to use both, I think that's super in play. So hope this helps. 10 picks. These are really, again, kind of geared towards optimal building, but use them in any format. I hope that they help win you some cash, get you into the winning zone. So once again, this is Keith Jamison. Go by Gator Guy 231 across the DFS industry. Please check us out at FSI DFS. And if you have not already done it, subscribe to the Mayo Media Network. You will not be sorry. Thank you all so much. See you.